Okay, hit record.
Turn me up. This is coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
Respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role models every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika Podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
Hey, Carl.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. We're ready. We're ready for episode 17. What is it, Naki?
17?
I'm always missing our Tuesday show, which we're going to talk about. So episode 17 of the Faika Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about that tanker that's stuck out there in the Suez Canal. We're going to talk about our discussion on Koviki Talk with the Utah team out there. Got good things going on, and that's a team that we really need to push into the spotlight because they're not a team that likes to talk about their own accomplishments. So we had a chance to get them in front of the microphone and the camera. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about our San Francisco school board member who blasted out a tweet in 2016 and came back to haunt her 5 years later. And that's today, right? You don't know if you put it out there, it's on the internet, it's on social media.
Forever.
It can come back to haunt you at any time. So That's our show today. Naki, what's good?
Good morning. So this week, lots of crazy stuff going on. Yesterday, we spent the day, the afternoon with Danny Boy and Sister Nani and Tutu. We went to handle our business and then got a chance to catch up with them. We haven't seen them really physically in a year, I believe. Tayal Manuia to our Yvette, who is checking in on Facebook.
Yvette Monamea. Good morning.
Alenda Malai, good morning. Queenie Molio, good morning, sister. So yesterday we were in the Bay Area. It was so beautiful outside. Traffic was crazy. And I was wondering why when we were driving that we seen a bunch of really old school cars. I just seen a bunch of old school cars. And then when I got home, I was watching the news and they had cruise session down the Mission area where they had all the lowrider clubs go up and down Mission to support the businesses and entrepreneurs down there. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we saw that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We saw that. We were right next to a car. And he's like, that's a beaut. It was a 63 Impala.
Yes.
100 spoke rims, all done up, shined up.
There was all kinds of nice cars on the bridge. And I was like, what is going on? And of course, down on the Mission, they had the lowrider cruise. And I seen a lot of pictures of just everyone, lots of lowrider clubs, cruising the Mission, supporting the businesses down there, which I thought was amazing. So Phil Alapati and his crew, they do that on bikes, and dang, something posse. I think it'll come to me. Ride Out Posse, and so they ride their bikes all over the Bay Area for, I don't know, they go anywhere from 25 to 50 miles.
Wow.
And they stop at a restaurant in the Bay Area to eat lunch. And if you can't bike ride with them, they usually post their location so that you can show up and have lunch with them and buy your own lunch. So
are their bikes all done up too? Like
they're
really cool
I've seen
bikes.
some really cool bikes, and then I've seen some really, like they're bikers, like heavy duty bikers. Like Phil is crazy healthy. He's just athletic. There you go. He's athletic. So he's always riding his bike. Brando is out there. Just a bunch of, it was a handful of them. And now it looks like could possibly be anywhere from 50 to 100 people that ride with them. I think it's Sundays that they do this, or whatever day they pick. So that's also a great cause that they are supporting the Bay Area businesses, small businesses. And so I thought that cruise yesterday with all the lowrider clubs was a great event. I wish I knew about it because I would have loved to gone down there and just park on 23rd and Mission. That corner
That's our
there.
spot.
That's our spot for the where do we go to?
Carnival.
Carnival. Usually the carnival happens every year. Hopefully that will come back soon. And Carl and I and Sister Mona will go down to Mission and 23rd at that corner and put our chairs there and watch the parade. And usually SCDC takes part of that parade. So, and Sister Lucy, who dances with the dance crew that wins every year. So I forget their name, but yeah, so just shout out to some of the people that are on Facebook. Olive Belisoma, good morning. Kristen Tawafiafi Schreimer. Julio Caesar, oh man, Caceres. I'm just jacking up everybody's name. I apologize. Thank you for tuning in this morning. So yeah, that was yesterday. Tuesday, back at work. And so yesterday, before you came, we were going to get out early, but I had a work meeting, which was really good because we're doing the Franklin and Covey Trust.
Speed of Trust, I think,
Speed
is
of
the
Trust,
name of
right.
the entire program. But then they have
Yes.
Slice of Trust, they have
Yes.
Building Trust, they have a bunch of different modules.
So yesterday was our Talk Straight card. They have cards. And so it's a really great program. I was kind of iffy about it, but yesterday was my first trust huddle and it was so good. And a lot of people it was like Cafe Wellness. Everybody spoke up and said something. So it was pretty amazing. So I'm glad that I made my work meeting. And then
Do you find that encouraging, that the things that we do for mental health that we always talk about, the Cafe Wellness and J2E and those kind of things, do you find it encouraging that workplaces are starting to, some of them have been involved for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But to see big organizations, actually the Fed, get the FRB, the Federal Reserve Board, involved in those kind of things, is that encouraging to you to think that big companies are starting to think about their employees' health?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's a great way to bring trust into, not that they didn't have it, but just within our group, our team. And so we have a really great team at work. And so so that was really good. Shout out to Tiva, who is watching us live on Facebook. Good morning.
Good morning, Tiva.
Lei Sapa Vivao. Good morning. And so thank you for tuning in. We can ask you to share. We'd appreciate it. So lots of trust, talk straight. It was just learning how to say what you need to say at work and not take it personal if it comes out rough. So I love the Franklin and Covey program that we're going into. So that is amazing. The Tuesday we had our FICA episode with Christian Fanene Schmidt. Crit, he goes by Crit. And so he's down south in the Los Angeles area and just all the amazing things that he is up to. He is a young Samoan man who originally was born in Samoa. New Zealand. His parents are from Samoa. And so just the great work that he has done. He's his education and got his master's and worked a couple of years for MTV. So go check out that interview if you haven't seen it. It is on our Facebook page. We talked to Crit on Tuesday. Follow him on Instagram. What would Crit do? So he's pretty forward thinking. He's into everything.
You know what I liked about I noticed it going through the interview. So if you go watch the interview, you're going to see long spaces of time that he takes to answer a question. So we would say, like, what was it like growing up or something like that? We'd ask a normal standard question. And it really struck me that there was long periods of silence, which usually you and I are like, we don't want radio silence, right? But he was taking every question that we asked,
Yeah.
and he was rolling it around in his head
Right.
and making sure that he came out with an answer that was true to himself.
Right.
So there was none of the, oh, great, or oh, good, or it was really one, there was some of that.
Yeah.
But it was well thought out. Like he wasn't going to, he's very aware about how he speaks. And it seems like what he says, his own word, is very
Right.
important to him.
Right.
And it's just one of those things as we got through the interview and we're going through, and I was like, man, that's making sense to me because he's not going to rush into an answer.
Right.
Like, how did you feel about X?
Yeah.
And he would sit there and think and not be concerned about silence. Like it's an interview on a broadcast, right? I would be concerned about, okay, let's make sure let me fill the spots. No, he was very aware, and I got to that point where I was like, every one of the answers he's giving us is 100% his genuine answer that he's thought through. Nothing was just running out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Really well spoken.
Yeah, I
young man.
really enjoyed our conversation with him because it was pretty deep, and it was authentic, and so I loved talking to him. So go check out that interview. It was on Tuesday. It was just a really solid conversation. So follow him on Instagram. What would Crit do? KRIT. So Tawa Mase Mame, thank you for tuning in. On Facebook, Ashley Tarrant Khalili, thank you. Audrina Afar. There you go. Big shout out to the people who are tuning in on Facebook. Please share. If you feel you can share this information, which we talked about. We're going to be talking about COVID-19, the episode that we did, and everything attached to that. But lots of stuff happened. How was your week?
My week was good. It's week 3 of radiation therapy. It's starting to wear down a little bit. And then I had hormone therapy this week. But what was interesting was I wasn't nearly as run down as I thought I was going to be yesterday. Yesterday and today would have been usually the worst day from the hormone shot. And I'm tired, but I'm not. I thought I would be exponentially more tired. I wondered if I was going to come in and do the show. But in the end of it, my body seems to be getting used to it. So I got 2 weeks to go. And just checking off the days. So that's really, as I get through the week, I'm just trying to manage energy. Going into this month, I was about 17,000 steps a day. And this month I am 7,000 steps a day on an average.
Hey man, don't knock that 7,000 steps. I did 8,000 steps on Friday. I was so happy, but I was like, I'm not even going to tell Carl because
No,
you're
steps are steps.
you're used to like 15 to 20,000 steps. I was like, I'm just going to keep it to myself. I told Menem and I was like, Mom, you should because we have a family chat where everybody shares their steps for the day. And I was like, no, because it was just one day. It's got to be continuous for me to post it somewhere.
You got to be proud though. Right?
Yeah,
Like I got a day where I had 7,500 steps and it was after 2 treatments.
I
But I was
know.
proud of
That's
this.
crazy
I was looking
amazing,
at it going,
yeah.
so whatever you're proud of, like you shouldn't be comparing like your
Oh
mom
no,
walks
oh, we do.
for thousands and thousands of steps a day.
Yeah, she knocks out 9,000 steps before 6 a.m. So I was like, okay, lady. Malo sends you hearts.
I love Malo.
And then
So yeah,
she's still going to get a big sasa, though, when I see her.
is
so,
she? What's she getting in
yeah.
trouble for? Ooh.
Am I on the camera? Okay, yes. She's going to get a big
Okay,
sasa, and you're
okay.
going to sasa her, too, once you see what she did. So anyway, Leah Poasa, our Leah is on. Good morning,
Good morning, Leah.
Leah, share, Leah.
Is Leah out in the Pacific, or is she
Leah,
home? Or where is Leah?
her and Ty were in Maui this week, and I believe they're back. So,
Rotana.
Safi, my Samoa, good morning.
Good morning.
Shouts to the both of you. Awesome show. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Talofa Manueleaso Sapati. How about that?
Look at that.
Look at that. Easter is next week. A lot of people are on spring break this week. Mena too. So, yeah. Your steps are crazy. Like you do on a regular 15,000. And So for you to do 7,000 after your radiation and then your other treatment is pretty awesome, dude. Pretty awesome.
I got horses that now I'm just completely attached to.
On your walk.
Yeah. So I will cut up apples and head out there. And when there's 3 different fields that they're in. There's a close field, and then there's a middle field, and then there's a far field. So obviously, if they're in the close field, I can just, they see me and they come over. If they're in the middle field, I can do that kind of thing, and they hear me.
Do that again. Do that again. What is that? What is that?
You're clicking for the horses, and they know what it is, and they know that I don't do that unless I've got apples. So they'll come to me from the middle field.
Yeah.
The far field, they can't hear me, so I just can't feed them. But when they're over there for weeks at a time because the owner is literally letting them graze different fields at a time. So they're in the middle field for a couple of weeks. They're in the far field for a couple of weeks. So right now they're in the field that's closest to my walk. So I get to feed them every day. So that specific day that I had treatment twice, I was like, man, I'm just wasted. I don't think I want to go. And then I was thinking, man, this is the week that the horses are in the near field.
Yeah.
Cut up the apples, walk slowly all the way there. It took me like twice as long to do the walk as I normally would. But I got to hang out with Luna and Butch and Kat. And it was like therapy. I mean, it wasn't a walk for exercise. It was a walk to just kind of settle my mind from a long day. So the point there, I would say, is if you got exercise, find a way to make it positive or enjoyable. Like I take some walks just because I want to go see the horses.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want to walk that day.
Well, you have a great walk. Like your view is amazing. Where I was walking around my block.
You got a dog park.
I have a dog park. Yeah,
close.
I have my sunga. So yeah, you ride.
But you know what? That's a big highlight of my week.
Yeah.
I got sunga time yesterday.
Sunga time.
It was sunga time.
Yeah, my dog.
Come over to say hi, and I hear her on the other side of the door, and then we go sit on the couch and love on each other for, I don't know, 10 minutes. But
it's funny. He calls it sunga. They both. So when Carl comes over to my house, my dog attacks Carl. She loves Carl. And then Carl comes in, and Carl doesn't even say hi to any of us. He just comes in, and him and Sunga, he gets on the couch. She runs to the couch because she knows he's going to the couch. And they just she's licking his face, and he's giggling. And I've taken pictures of them just like totally into each other for I don't know what, but it's crazy how much they love each other. So
I can't have a dog. My son is allergic to dogs. So anybody's dog that I can love on,
right?
I'm like, oh, can I pet your dog? And people are like, oh yeah, you can pet. And then I'm like rolling around on the floor. Just getting all my dog minutes in that I can. Because I know that, that's when I can get my dog time.
Yeah. So
one of my highlights last year in 2020 was when in November, I think, when you and your family left for 4 or 5 days, and I got the dog sit. I got the sunga sit for 4 or 5 days, and that was one of the best parts of my 2020.
Right.
Was hanging out with Sunga for almost a week.
So Sunga and Carl have their alone time for like a half an hour, and she loves seeing you. So there you go. And if you haven't noticed, we have been missing this past, how many weeks? 4 weeks, and we were having technical difficulties.
We've been missing on the live. We're on the app.
Yes, we're on the app. We do a show every Sunday. We just haven't been live because we've had technical difficulties. And so Mena, who is our producer and director, figured it out.
And she's IT too now.
She's IT. She's our IT person. She's our producer, director, and she was in the studio till late last night. And then we got in here early, and she figured it out. So thank you, Mena, for getting us back on. Yeah, I had a great week. Sounds like you had a great week. Positivity is the flow that we're on because of all the amazing and great stuff that's going on. So yeah, we loved this week. I love talking to Crit. We had Koviki Talk this week. So if you don't know, we do a series. We have a series called Koviki Talk, and Monday was our episode 21. 21. So we started off with, we were only going to do 21 episodes, and now we've extended out to 20 more. So we're on a break these next 2 weeks because of Easter, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
I think so Naki, you talked about that. It was only a 21 episode series to begin with, and we weren't but maybe 10 episodes in, 10 episodes in, and the thought process was already in place for a second 21 episode series. So it was nice to see the organization that's funding that, seeing the value in the spoken word and seeing the value in what we always talk about, having Pacific Islanders speak to Pacific Islanders about a topic that applies to us. So to have Dr. Samoa or Dr. Pati Young talking about infectious diseases or, epidemiology, the vaccine, clinical trials, all those kind of things.
Data disaggregation.
All the way to the other side of just having a community activist talk about, look, I don't do this full time. I'm just trying to let you know that there's a vaccine site at the Tafatolu Church in San Jose. Like, to see a big spectrum of us, people that look like us, speaking to our community and giving them valuable information, timely valuable information. So when it's the census, we're talking about the census. When it is
time to vote,
we're talking about elections.
Right.
When it's, it's time to get the vaccine, we're talking about the vaccine. So to have that timely information, it was I will say it's very positive to only be less than halfway through that series and then already hear, hey, we'd like to re-up and do 21 more episodes.
Right.
So I think that was the big, not turning point, but the point where we were kind of like, we're doing the right thing here.
We're doing the right thing.
Because not only is the community reacting to it, but the funders are reacting. The funders can see the value of it. So that was the first indication that I got that, hey, we're doing a good thing.
Right.
The second indication that kind of was confirmation for us was the California Ethnic Media Awards nominated Koviki Talk for 4 categories.
Yes.
So the category of social justice, we did the data disaggregation episode, that fell under the social justice category.
Yes.
Obviously, there's the COVID category. I mean, that's the whole series, right? It's based about COVID-19. And then there was, what was the other two? COVID-19, election, census. And COVID-19, elections, census, and one other
Social justice.
Social justice and elections. And elections, census, social justice, and COVID-19.
COVID-19. Those are the 4 episodes. Koviki Talk was nominated. We're in 4 categories for the SEMA Awards. So I'm so excited. I'm so proud of the work that our whole team has done. Our whole team has done the work. And to get the notification that we got nominated for the California Ethnic Media Awards, people. It's so exciting.
And that's Beverly Quintana?
Beverly Quintana.
Christine Alarcon.
Tavai Samuelu, Dr. Nia Ayatoto, Dr. Reno Samoa. And it was just, yay. Yeah. We're so proud. And so we're so proud of that episode, all the episodes.
Right.
But it's totally, it's teamwork. So
yeah. The crowd goes
wild. So we're so proud of the work that we do. We're so excited and humbled to be nominated for these awards. And so I don't know when it is. And so when we find out, we will let everyone know. So I'm excited and I'm so proud of Koviki Talk and everyone that is on the team, and that is all, our whole crew. So big shout out to Christine and Beverly, Tavai, Dr. Aita Otto, Dr. Samoa, Dr. Basia Young, Dr. Samoa and Dr. Young. The episode that they were on, that show is nominated. I mean, just it's crazy work that we're proud to be a part of, and I
Big
just
shout out to Sandy Close.
yeah
She's the founder of Ethic Media Services, an independent company. She doesn't run the SEMA.
right
But she's the one who called me up one time and she was just like, hey, what are you guys putting in for the SEMA Awards? And I was like, what are this? I don't even know what those are.
right
And
right.
she was kind of upset at us. She said, what do you mean? Like, you guys are media. You're doing work that needs to be recognized. And so I wasn't even going to put us in for any categories until Sandy gave me a call and she was like, you need to get involved with this. You guys are doing work
Right.
that needs to be seen. It'll put you on a higher platform so that other funders and other organizations can see what
Yes.
you're doing. So short of that phone call with Sandy, I would have never put our name in the hat.
Right.
And then to get the call, I guess to get the email of, hey, not only are you nominated in a category, you're nominated in 4 categories.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't, you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
We don't want to be in the spotlight. Our work
Yes.
can be in the spotlight.
Right.
That's what it feels like this is, that our work is in the spotlight.
Yeah. So it's just I'm so proud of everyone that is involved in the girls that are, involved. Beverly, Christine, Tavai, and Dr. Nia Oto, they are a big, huge part of this.
Literally, we show up.
Yeah, we show
and we do the
up.
show.
Yes. They put us in front of the camera, but really they are the heart of Koviki Talk. So we're so grateful for the opportunity that they gave us and to believe in us. Dr. Reyno Samoa threw us in the ring, literally, but really they are the heart of Koviki Talk. And so I'm just so grateful to be a part of an amazing, amazing team. So yeah.
Do you find yourself sometimes, so I respect Dr. Samoa so much. There's things he's thrown us into
Right.
where I'm like, don't know that I should
What you
be
talking about?
but I
Right.
trust him and I
Yeah.
believe in him so much that I'm just like, well, if he thinks we can do it, then
We can do it.
I guess we can do it because
Yeah.
he's a smart guy and he knows what he's putting us into.
Right.
So it makes me feel proud sometimes when people want us to
Right.
do the work with them or
Yes.
in a certain format or on a certain stage, all those kind of things. It feels good for the work.
Yeah,
Feels
it's
good for
awesome.
PBD.
It does feel good for PBD. So I'm proud, so proud. And I was just honored and humbled to get that we were, and not only just one, like you said, but 4 nominations. And so
Who knows? Maybe we
who
win
knows?
one of those.
Yeah, maybe
Or
we'll win
2.
one and maybe we won't. But man, just to get nominated, it feels really good. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for them even, noticing us or just considering Koviki Talk. So yeah, it's awesome, amazing. I'm so proud of that project, and like I said, I'm proud of the team that helps push Koviki Talk every Monday at 5 p.m.
Shameless
Just
plug.
so you
Shameless
know.
plug.
Just so you know. But yeah, so that's crazy amazing. I was so happy to tell my family because it's work that we're proud of, just supporting the pandemic, giving the information geared towards Pacific Islanders because we don't get the information the way it needs to be told. So awesome, awesome. So proud, so proud. Nellie Rodriguez Tayamanuia.
Good morning, cousin.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
She had
happy
a birthday
birthday.
yesterday. So happy birthday. And God bless you. So, what else is going on? I was so shook by those awards yesterday. We kind of just didn't tell too many people because I wanted to we needed to tell the girls first and Dr. Samoa. So, yeah.
Sent that email out
Yes.
this morning.
I'm like, we got an award, so we could talk about it because I can't keep.
We didn't get an
Quiet.
award. We got nominated.
We got
for an award.
nominated.
We hope we
Nominated.
win an award.
That's
but
yes.
being nominated,
Awesome.
I still feel like this is all brand new. So
Yeah.
to get nominated and be rubbing shoulders in the competitors who, the other groups I'm sure have been around longer than 2 years.
Yes.
So
Yes. So it's crazy amazing. So thank you for even thinking of us. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there you go. Also this week, what is it? A boat. So I tell you, I go, hey, did you see that boat that's stuck in the Suez
Suez Canal?
And then you go, yeah. And I go, man, have you seen it? Like the canal is this big and the boat goes across the whole canal. I go, how did that happen? And you said, oh, it's bigger than just it getting stuck. And I go, but what's the big deal? It's like international news.
Right.
And I go, what's the big deal? And you go, fuel,
oil supply. So
yeah.
the Suez Canal runs from the Mediterranean Ocean and connects it south through. You got to go all the way around Africa if you don't use the Suez Canal. So it cuts off thousands of miles of travel if you can get, and that's all goods and oil and everything. So I don't know. I don't have all the answers. What I do know, it hasn't happened before, and you've got to turn that boat completely sideways, and you've got to empty your ballast tanks so that it doesn't float. So for those things to happen, and then what happens is there's hundreds and hundreds of other tankers that are now, it's like a traffic jam. It's like you block off the Bay Bridge, and then
everybody's stuck.
You can't just say, oh, go around and go over the San Mateo Bridge. You can, but there's all the people that are stuck at the toll booths all the way into the maze
Can't
that have
get
to,
out.
what are you going to do? Like you got to unjumble that. So they've got the same kind of situation going on at the Suez Canal where they've got to turn the northbound traffic around, go all the way back around the bottom of Africa.
Oh, wow.
And come back the other side. So there's all these things happening, and I was like, how does that happen? And it ends up that there's ballast tanks that keep you, level and afloat in a big ship. Somehow those got emptied, and that's why he got bottomed out, or I don't know, he or she, the captain got bottomed out in the canal. So tugboats can't move the thing, and shipping costs are going through the roof. Libya is really the country that's taken the most pain, or the most is suffering the most from not being able to get supplies going through there. I'm just not I'm not a believer in, it isn't a conspiracy theory to me, but it's just like, how does it happen that you end up emptying your ballast tanks at the same time that you're sideways in the canal, and then tugboats can't move you out of there, and it takes, I don't know, what are we going on, a week now?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So,
I know. I was just curious about, like, what's the big deal about this ship stuck in the canal?
Even if it's so there's not a conspiracy theory and it is actually an accident, you all those ships have to get out of the canal and get out of that. It's a shallow, narrow point to get to. So they got to turn around and travel. I don't know how many thousands of miles it is to go back around the Cape of Good Hope at the very southern tip of Africa and come all the way back up around.
It's just crazy to me. And you can see where the canal is so small. And so for everyone to turn around, I mean, it's ridiculous that big ass ship got stuck sideways.
Yeah. So canals have locks, right? So if you're traveling through a canal, it may not be the same elevation. So if you're going up elevation, you're going to go into what they call a lock, and you're going to get into this closed area, and they're going to fill it up with water and raise the boat up if you're going up elevation or down elevation. So a canal isn't necessarily just this like river-like thing that you sail straight through. It can be really narrow and really enclosed, because if you're in a lock where they've got to put you in there and then raise the level of the boat because you're going up in altitude or elevation, it can be like that. So some pieces of it could be free flowing and just just like you would think, but there's pieces of it that are extremely narrow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so they have all kinds of like little boats trying to help it get unstuck. So I was curious as to why it made international news, but
it's stopping trade.
Yeah, it's stopping trade, and oil. Like oil is big. Like if it was stopping food, it wouldn't even. I believe it would not be international news, but because of the oil, and now they're saying we need to salvage oil, I was like, okay, no. And it could be the reason why gas prices have risen. Well, that and everyone's going on spring break. because there's been
Yeah.
a lot more cars on the road this week that I noticed. And yesterday there was a lot. Well, when it's anywhere over 67 degrees in the Bay Area, it's a hot day. And so it was really beautiful yesterday, and we were on the bridge. There was a lot of cars out yesterday.
Right.
And so usually when it's a hot day in the Bay Area, everyone is headed into San Francisco to get to all the, Pier 39, go to all the great restaurants that are out in the city. So I get that. It was a beautiful day yesterday. And so it felt really good to see everyone out and about.
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to necessarily rise gas prices, because gas is based on the price of a gallon of oil or a barrel of oil.
Yeah.
But transportation costs right now for all that involved over there, that's
Yeah.
going through the roof.
Crazy. So but usually when there's like we're on vacation, or it's spring break, or it's right before a holiday, the price of gasoline goes up because people are getting in their cars more to drive places. So that's my theory. That's how I feel. I believe that to be true.
Gas
I
is
believe
higher in
that
the
to be
summer.
true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gas is higher in the summer because everybody is off. Everyone is driving somewhere. I did see that Disney World is open. So that's awesome. I don't know if you have to buy a ticket ahead or if you've got to make reservations, but I've seen a lot of people check in to Disney World this week. So that's awesome. Disneyland is opening soon, so I'd like to make a trip there
Yeah,
soon.
I think there's a capacity rule. I don't know what the percentage is, but
Yeah.
there's like 25%.
25%,
Again, I'm
yeah.
making this up. I don't know what the percentage is. I just know that they're not full capacity. They can open to a certain.
Oh, that's nice though.
Yeah.
The lines aren't as long.
Ooh, man. I would
Ooh,
jack
I
prices
think
up
I
if I
would
was
go.
Disneyland. You can come
I think
and
I will
wait
go.
in 15-minute lines. The price just went up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It's probably crazy expensive to get into those places, but I would like to go to Disneyland soon. So work on that, Mo. Work on that, Mo.
When I used to travel a lot when I had Southern California, if I was working in Orange County, I would stay at the Embassy Suites on Garden Grove, which is like, I don't know, a mile away from Disneyland. And I would stay there on purpose because I just wanted to see the international crowds. Like I would, in the morning, I'm going down the elevator to go to work, and they're going down the elevator and their kids are all done up. And it's
Yeah.
people from, India or China but English speaking or not, they got like the Mickey Mouse,
Yeah.
everything, the whole suit on, and they're just smiley, in a good mood.
Yeah.
I don't like getting on there later.
Yeah.
Later, sometimes the parents are a little fried from having their kids
Everybody's
lose it in the park.
tired.
But in the morning, they're going to the happiest place in the world, and it's
I
really cool
know.
to see.
I want to get to Disneyland. So we haven't been there, oh my gosh, forever. I'd have to say 10 years. It's been 10 years since we last went. We went as a family to take my little one, and I think she was 3, and now she's 13. So I think we're due. I totally
About
think
that
we're
time.
due. Yeah. So yeah, I love that things are starting to open up, but we still need to be careful. Still wear your mask. Please still social distance. I was on Facebook this morning, and Utopia PDX had their vaccination thingy, like getting people out there to get vaccinated, and it looked like a great turnout. I love that Utopia PDX is like, they are hardcore community work. Like Malo and her team do a great job. I did see Ty's uncle. He's a professor or a doctor.
I think he's both.
He's both, yeah. He's a Matai.
You name it, he's it.
He's a High Chief Matai. He's a professor or a doctor, and he was in there too. He was at the Utopia PDX vaccination event. There you go. And so I was like, I know he lives in Oregon, and so to see the community of all walks of life there in the picture that Malo posted it was really beautiful, and it touched my heart. And so I think, as always, Koviki Talk, we always talk about from the beginning of the pandemic how our community just, with no money or with money, we all just got together and tried to find how we can help the PI community. So I love that we continue to do that. It's been a year in, and we're still going strong of trying to get people vaccinated, trying to get people tested, trying to get you to wear your mask, and 6 feet distancing is still going on. But I noticed that we're starting to do that more and more of just wearing our mask. I know Bridget Moala, who was part of the team, that part of the Samoan group that was stuck out here since the pandemic. And she finally got to go home to Samoa, American Samoa, after a year.
Wow.
After a year. And so big shout out to the governor out there who's doing, who got that done. And so Bridget, who has been out here since the beginning of the pandemic, who is from American Samoa, like I said, and she's back home, she posted that she's still wearing her mask. And when she goes out to places, people are looking at her weird because in American Samoa, they didn't have the breakout. They no COVID cases. And so because she's out here so long, she got used to wearing her mask everywhere she went. And in back home in American Samoa, there was no threat of COVID because they shut down the border for a year. You couldn't fly in, you couldn't fly out. And so it was funny to me to see that she was posting, everybody's looking at me crazy because I got my mask on. So, but I'm happy that they're starting to fly those people back home. A second flight has gone home and is in quarantine now I think for 14 days. And then after that, they get to go home to their families. So I'm so happy that they're starting to have people get back home. Pastor Maverick Tufuli is on. He's saying good morning, happy Palm Sunday, and he's checking in from the City of Angels. Good morning, Pastor and First Lady. Good Sunday. Their church is opening up next week for Easter Sunday, so a lot of churches are starting to open up, and I'm happy for that.
So Trump was right. He said, wouldn't it be great if there were people in the churches on Easter Sunday?
There you go.
And people were there to worship God, and just the wrong year, Trump.
Yeah.
2021,
that was
not
last
2020.
year. He was talking about last year. It was a little bit too early, like a month into the pandemic. Vicky is on. Good morning, Vic. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. We appreciate it. So, I think all the work that's going on about COVID and PIs is still ongoing, but we love it. So there you go.
Still people putting in the work, like
Still
Malo.
yes, Malo.
There's
We
so many
love Malo.
different people, but to see, that picture on social media.
Yes.
Just another morning that that
Utopia PDX is doing
exactly
a
that
great
the organization
job. Yes.
is still just out there doing it.
Right.
Doing the work.
So I love it. Wow. Have we been going an hour? Okay. So there you go. I love PDX. I love National Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team has been going nonstop, and it's a group that was created because the numbers in the Pacific Islanders has been crazy high, and so they're working hard to bring that to a halt. So thank you so much. If you didn't catch Koviki Talk, speaking of Koviki Talk, we had the Utah Pacific Islander Health Coalition on with Lucia Satini and Jake Fitisemanu Jr. They're doing a great job out there. If you missed that episode, it's on our Facebook page. It's also, you can go to download our Faika app to catch all the latest episodes of Koviki Talk and the Faika Podcast. Thank you so much.
Let's see. We have Essence of Mana.
Essence of Mana.
Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community, and it doesn't matter where you live because it's virtual. You just have to be willing to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more information or to register for upcoming classes, you can hit up Lulu Massina at 415-243-6328 or L Massina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday on Essence of Mana's Facebook page at 7 p.m. They took a little break. They are back, and that's a great show. Talanoa Tuesday.
That's a great show.
Is a great show. That has
Right.
evolved into kind of a mainstay during the week. And the guests they have are amazing. That's a great show that Essence of Mana has come up with, and congratulations to them for that. This week's guest was Lisa Tatolo Joaquim with PAL.
Yes.
So check out their page for the interview. And that's the good thing about having it as a go live. You can catch it live. And if you miss it, you can go to their page and listen to it anyway.
Yes, and watch it and listen to it and, and replay. So that was a great interview. I watched it while it was live. Also, this week we got Tanya Sonia Ibarra, who was an artist that we had on FICA Tuesday. I love her work. I love her work. And so we had her on as a guest. And she sent us this big old box of gifts to thank us for having her on. And I was like, what the? And she sent books. I mean, these notebooks with, oh gosh, it's
One
in
of the
my
cool
backpack.
stickers I put on my computer.
It's on my computer too. She sent cards, blank cards with her art on it. It's freaking badass. I can't wait to use that. I already have uses for it, so our crew don't even think about it because I've got uses for PBD to use them. So thank you, Tanya.
Tanya MasaniiArt.com.
Yes, go to her web page. I'm fascinated with women and their malus, and so I'm starting to collect art with women and their malus, and if it's just a malu that's showing, and so I seen her work on Instagram. And I had been stalking her forever. And there's this one piece that I was really drawn to. And so I got a copy of the art, her painting, and it's at my home. I just have to frame it, and then I will post it everywhere. I just want to put it in a nice frame, so when I take the picture of the art piece, it's nicely framed and on my wall before I do. But Tanya, oh my God, girl, thank you so much. Please go follow her on Instagram. Go to her webpage.
Yeah, her
Tanya,
website's
yes.
amazing. And there isn't just the malu on there.
Yes.
That's just the piece that Naki likes. There's
yes.
amazing art on there. There's stuff about, Samoan legends, the turtle and the shark. Just, there's so many different things on that website that are amazing. You can get lost in there. It's like being on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like I want this, I want that.
Right. So just a quick shout out to Larry Duenas, who's watching us from
Chelu
Vallejo.
Car Club.
He's with the Chelu Car Club, who has their fundraisers once a year, a couple times a year, but usually we go to the car show that they have in Vallejo. So thank you for tuning in, Brother Larry. Yolandi Hafoka, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. And Moses Molly, thank you for tuning in. So if you missed it earlier, Moses, I'd like to go to Disneyland. So make that happen.
Shout out to Mo. I came in the house yesterday.
Yeah.
And, among my sunga time,
Yes.
when I was wrestling with her on the couch, I looked over and I was like, damn, bro, how much weight you lost?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, like maybe 20, 30. I was like, I don't think so. I think it's more than that. So shout out to Mo, who said, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
And he's doing something about it.
Yeah. We're trying to get healthy in my house. So we're eating no rice. We're trying to watch the bread and I had bread yesterday, but we're trying to watch our bread intake and our rice intake. And my eldest daughter is getting married this year. So we're all trying to get skinny. We're all trying to get skinny as fast as we can for her wedding. And so, he looks really good. I'm so proud of him putting in the work to lose the weight and to get healthy. So,
he looks great.
Yeah. COVID-19 came into our house and just whipped our butts. Like COVID just really did a number on our whole family. And so we're grateful to have made it through COVID-19, and my family has just been on a crazy journey these last couple of years. And so I'm grateful that we made it through COVID.
I would assume with Mo specifically, he was laid up with COVID. So his activity, because he has a very physical job. Right. So the activity just stops.
Came to a halt.
And then, your body's just not in the same balance that it normally is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you have a sedentary job and then COVID comes along and then you're sedentary at home, it's kind of like you got the same kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
But when you're extremely active at work and you're doing
Right.
physical work, and then all of a sudden you don't have any of that activity and that
Yeah.
calorie burn,
Yeah.
you can even eat just the same stuff and you're going to gain weight.
Yeah, yes. And that's totally what happened. He was out of work for 5 weeks because of COVID. How crazy is that? You're out of work for 5 weeks, and he does, like you said, his work is physical, and it came to a halt. And then he had the nerves that when it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he was like yelling at me, Mena, and like, what, I don't get lunch? And we're like, bruh, the rest of us got COVID too. Like, chill out. So on the money at 1 o'clock, he had to have his lunch. He had to have his dinner. And we just like knocked on the door and put it in front of his door. And he was like a prisoner, grabbed the food and shut the door. So we're grateful to still be here, to appreciate the craziness that goes on in my house. So yeah, COVID kicked our butts for like 3 months, pretty much 3 months. And so that's that. So I'm grateful that we get to be here to tell you our crazy COVID stories. If you didn't know, Fangongo Samoa, what is it like how I swung in that? Samoan Solutions, our sisters Epi and Fanga, are back with Fangongo Samoa. They have a workshop series that's going on right now. They're on a break because of spring break and Easter. Their next workshop is April 10th, and that will be going on from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. live. You need to register at tinyurl.com/Fangongo sign up.
Second year in a row that they're not giving up, and they're just saying it's not going to happen.
Yes, it's gonna happen
one way or another.
Yeah. So good morning, Etwina. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Our Tayamanuia, to our Maury, and Boss Mena. She said, good morning, Boss Mena. Mena is the boss.
She's
Let
the
me
boss
just
here.
tell you. Yeah, she's the boss. So, and also Maury says, share. So yeah, Samoan Solutions. Please go follow them on Instagram. Fangongo Samoa will be happening. It's a play that they put on every year for the last 4 or 5 years that is storytelling of the PI community. So thank you so much. A big shout out to Epi and Fanga. And they've also, Epi and Fanga have been highlighted in Essence of Mana's celebration of Women Month. And so it's been wonderful to see the women that they've been celebrating all month. So grateful for them. They, put me and my sunga up as one of the women that they celebrated. So I love that my sunga is part of the celebration. So thank you so much. Also, Nelly's congratulations to Mac Moley, who has been our host from As I've Been Out. Mac Moley, aka Mac Moley, has been hosting FICA with our Carl. And so he has a website, www.macmoley.com, where he's been highlighting his, his rap battles. He's also highlighted, Hi Guy Lie's latest video where he plays a police officer. And according to the people there, he's cop number 2. Because according to cop number 1, he is cop number 1. So yes, go check out www.macmoley.com.
So he's Mac Moley, aka Mac Moley, aka Mac Moley domain.
Yes, he has his own domain. So please go check it out. We appreciate that he took the time to come be a host. Lesina Nu'ufolau, thank you for tuning in this morning on Facebook. Yeah, so we're on a break tomorrow from Koviki because of spring break, and it's Easter Sunday week. So we'll be on the following Monday. And so Wednesday, we are on Island City, where the beach meets the streets.
Where the what?
Where the beach meets the streets. Yes, I said beach. It's Island City is headed up by Brother Q and DJ Green, Brother Green. They started Island City, and so you can catch them. We are actually on there Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. You have to download the Dash Radio app, search Island City, and you will find all the amazing podcasts and shows that are on there led by PIs, Coach V is on there. A ton of great interviews happen on Instagram. So please go follow Island City. We are on there Wednesday morning, like I said, at 10 a.m. You can also find us on AAX Media, where they post Koviki Talk. We're on every Monday. We are here Tuesdays and Sundays. I know, we're everywhere, right? Like, well, what's that about?
We are everywhere.
We're everywhere. So check us out.
Did you hear read the tweets from Alison Collins?
Oh my gosh. She is the San Francisco School Board member
who tweeted in 2016 some really bad stuff, especially if you're going to hold a public job.
Yeah.
So there's the lesson to be learned out there. We're going to go over this, but if whatever you tweet, whatever you put on social media or you put out there, it can be out there forever. So be careful what you put in Instagram, and even your DMs can be screen flashed. So it doesn't matter. Alison Collins was the board's vice president. Did she quit? She refuses to resign. So there's flash screenshots of a 2016 conversation on Twitter where she's complaining about hate speech or bullying of Asian students. And she goes into talking about Asian S's and T's. I don't know what that is. I know won't engage in critical race conversations unless they see how they're impacted by white supremacy. So she kind of starts out from the right angle of like, let's be unified in it. But then it evolves into, she says, I grew up in mostly Asian American schools and know this experience all too well. Many Asian Americans believe they benefit from the, quote, model minority BS. So model minority was a term coined by a white politician, and he was talking about how Asians are model minorities. And it wasn't so much Asians act right. It was, look at how Asians have been done. We put them in internment in World War II, and then we let them out, and they didn't make a big deal out of it. They just went back to work. They're not causing problems. But look at the black students or the black activists are causing problems. The Asians are a model minority. So she's saying that term is benefiting them. And then it just goes all the way down and gets worse and worse and worse. And then she says, do you think they won't be deported, profiled, beaten? Being a house N-er, N-I blank blank E-R, is still being a N blank 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 E-R. You're still considered the help. So she's calling Asians house N-words. And then she's saying, is still being an N-word. She is on school board in one of the most liberal, if not the most liberal city in the United States.
Right.
That's crazy that she remains in position. Absolutely crazy. Yes, it was 2016, but that's not 2006.
Yeah.
Like, that's 5 years ago. That's recent.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that develops. I don't even know if she's still, I'm looking at an article. I assume she's still in place because she said she refused to resign. I don't know if they're going to vote her out, if they're going to boot her out, or how they're going to get her out, but she got to go.
She got to go. And this comes up all in the heat of the crimes that have been happening in the Asian community, especially in the Bay Area. It's like we said last week, it's risen like 1,000,000%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Since the pandemic has happened. And so it's been happening, and we just want to stop it. And especially all that's been happening, the hate crime that happened in Atlanta. So we just want to make note or like, what the hell? What the hell? This is why we need our people like Manufo, Faunga, etc. Apart from the school board. They have been fighting for equal rights and for our AAPI community that's been coming out. Like it's the Stop Asian Hate is what we're trying to promote, because it's the percentage and the crime that's been happening has been going unnoticed, and because of what happened in Atlanta, it's been brought to the forefront. And so we just want to make sure that people that are, I don't know, that are promoting Asian hate, is what I'm gathering from this, is that they get called out, and that you stop that shit and get out.
Yeah, I think
Just, you know, ugh,
I've read on social forums
totally.
about how, well, most of the people that are perpetuating this are a single race.
Right.
And it's like, who cares about that?
Right.
I mean, I care about it, but I care more about my Asian American brothers that are the
Right.
victims of the violence.
Right.
Like,
Right.
does it make it worse or better because somebody is of an ethnic origin that's committing the crime? There's Asian Americans that are having violent crimes being committed on them. We need to focus on that and
Yeah.
not try to change the narrative
Yeah.
and talk about something else. There's crime being committed on Asian Americans because they're Asian Americans.
Right.
And you know, that's the piece of that. You know, in the past, in the history of this country,
Oof.
they've always made a person or a group of people responsible for a problem.
Right.
So they banned Chinese immigration at one point, 1875. Chinese could not come over and get jobs, literally, because they were Chinese.
Right.
They didn't want Chinese labor. When there was, it's identify people to make the problem, and that's the thing with the terrorism. It's a Muslim problem. Like we then all of a sudden there was hate crimes against Muslims after 9/11.
Right.
And because it's a group of people problem. It's not a
Right.
criminal or a terrorist problem. It's a group of people's problem.
Yeah.
And so then you get to the virus, right? And it's not the coronavirus. It's not just a China virus. Trump called it a Chinese virus.
And I think that peaked all the hate crimes
And it
that
puts
started.
the issue on a group of people.
Right.
And that's the problem when you say that this problem, this labor problem is a Chinese problem. This terrorist problem is a Muslim problem. This coronavirus problem is a Chinese problem. You're personalizing it to the point that you're assigning it to a people. Of course, there's going to
Yes.
be hateful acts committed on those people if you're promoting that's it's Chinese people's
Yeah.
problem that the virus is here. Like, I don't get to
Totally.
see my mom's funeral because of Chinese people, because it's their virus, and I'm
Right.
locked down because of that.
No.
That's something our country's done in its past for so long
Yeah.
that it does now, and
It's
it
hate.
doesn't even think, we don't even think about that. Like, you're trying to make it a group of people, and then
Blaming a
you're
group
going to
of
get those
people.
people hurt because
Yeah.
people are going to see the
Because
tweets,
you
they're going to read the
pointed-
tweets, they're going to see it
Yeah.
on social media, and they're going to act out because there's crazy people that read this stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be
Crazy.
careful about what
What
you're
you
saying,
say.
who you're speaking to,
yeah,
who's going to
because-
hear you.
Crazy. And that, I think the crimes against Asians have been going on for a minute now, but I think it rose when people started calling it the China virus, which was crazy to begin with. But my thing, and you know, there's crimes against PIs, there's crime, but to call it the China virus has been, that in itself is
Well-
crazy to me. And PJ's on. He says, I blame a lot of these hate crimes on the last administration who highlighted or focused on that. And my big thing is the crimes has risen, and it's the elders. It's the elders that
There's
they
still
have.
people who can't protect themselves.
The people that can't protect themselves, and it's cowardly.
Right.
It's these cowards that are going after the elders. They're not going after anybody that can fight back.
Right. They're
And
not going
so-
into a dojo
Right.
with
right.
a bunch of martial arts students and
Yes.
attacking them. They're attacking some 80-year-old lady that's on her knees
Right.
doing gardening,
Yeah.
like,
so
pushing a 90-year-old guy from behind.
yeah.
Like, those are,
so
and it's
get it together.
it's like
people.
AIDS. When AIDS came out, they tried to blame it. It's an
Okay,
African.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's
They
an
were trying to-
African.
yeah.
It's an African disease, and
They
it's
were trying to
perpetuated by
yeah.
gays.
They were
So
trying to blame everybody.
blame people, a group of
Right.
people.
And that's what started. That's what starts hate, is when you blame it on
On
a
a group of
group,
people.
on a group of people. So I just think we need to stick to the science. I think we need to stick to focus on what's going on. Like, we need to get rid of COVID-19, and let's get a cure, and let's get our people vaccinated or tested. So yeah, I think I'm a little hungry. I'm a little hungry. So
That means that's the end of the show. Naki's hungry. We've got to go.
yeah, PJ is saying, I even still hear some of our poly people blame Asians for the pandemic, but I take it upon myself to try to educate them and hope to change their way of thinking. There you go.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. Well, if you hear people talking about a group in a negative way, all we can do is try to educate one another in a calm
Right.
and have an adult conversation about how we can educate people who think in this backwards
But
thought.
it's easier that way,
Mhm.
right? You don't have to think through it. If I can just blame it on Chinese people, then it's just easier for me to it's a lazy person's way about feeling about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So, and half of them, it's like, do you even know if that person's Chinese?
Yeah.
Like, can you tell the difference between a Chinese person
Yeah.
and a Korean person? And like the people that are doing this aren't even educated in the way they're going about their
Yeah,
hate. Like, it's
there's-
uneducated. I can't even explain how stupid it is. But
It's so stupid.
it's when once you're trying to assign a big problem, like a systemic problem, to a group of people, you're going to end up getting people hurt
hurt.
that don't, the innocent people are going to be hurt
Yeah.
when you talk like that.
Yeah, that really, I think that's what got me, is that I'm so, it hit me that somebody's grandmother, my grandmother, that could be my grandmother, getting punched in the face. And just, she's by herself. So I'm like, I wish a fool would, and, just, it's your grandmother.
Right.
It's your mother. It's your sister. It's your brother. It's your brother. Like,
It's your mom going for a walk.
yeah. So let's educate people and just not be stupid. And just not be stupid. Let's stop the hate. All the hate, but right now we're concentrating on our Asian brothers and sisters. And so let's stop Asian hate. Let's
Just
stop.
think it through. Think it through. If it
Think
came
it through.
from a wet market in Wuhan, if that's where it came from,
Then
the person you're attacking, do you think that they live there?
nah.
Do you think that
Yeah,
like
right.
they're one of they were a shop owner? There's what, a billion, almost 2 billion people in China?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so uneducated and ignorant to think that me lashing out to a person that looks like what an entire country
Yeah.
or ethnicity is going to fix. Like, what is that going to do?
Right. Right. And nothing. You're not solving anything.
Hopefully it puts your ass in jail. That's
Right.
what it does.
So there you go. Let's cut this shit out, people. Let's do right. Let's think about spreading and educating everyone on the right thing to do, and think about what you're doing. So yeah, I think we've hit everything and got our points across, and we just want to thank you for tuning in. Also, thank you to the SEMA Awards for recognizing Koviki Talk, for our 4 nominations in the California Ethnic Media Awards. I'm so proud
And if
of
by
the work.
chance we end up winning one of
When?
those,
Oh my God.
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. But in the meantime, we're humbled and honored to have been nominated, and we're grateful for the time that we are here helping each other get educated on COVID-19. So that is us for this Sunday. We are so grateful for the time and space we get to share with all of you. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Check out Essence Amana, Samoan Solutions. Thank you, everyone, for the great work that you're doing wherever you are. Tune in every Sunday and Tuesday. We are here on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., Sunday at 10 a.m. Thank you, PJ. We love you, PJ. Tune in every week. We will be here. You're going to get sick of seeing our face. But thank you for tuning in. Come back to FICA with us.
Love y'all.
Yo, Concrete, you made this?
Hey, yeah. Doing a dash up in the foreign, going crazy.